Hi you guys, Jenny here with 𝔽𝕊𝕃𝕃𝕃. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today's reading is going to be channeling messages from heaven. Okay, so we are going to be tapping into spirits that have passed away. And what we're going to do first is I'm going to tap into the energies of a few people with this deck. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards out of this deck. If any of the people who comes through resonates with you from this deck, then there's going to be a message in this reading for you. Alrighty, and then after we pull these people out of this deck, then we're going to go ahead and channel into the messages from their spirit that they'd like you to know. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to set these guys on the side right now and let's begin. All right, what spirits would like to come through to pass on messages? Generally, you know, most people are like, you know, they could be afraid of, you know, loved ones who have passed or ghosts and spirits or whatnot. But in my experience, what I have found is that generally the spirits that keep coming through, interesting. The spirits that keep coming through is generally those who have messages to pass on to the people here on earth. And really the messages are to bring forgiveness, are to bring, you know, closure to those that are still here on earth. Okay, so first of all, we've got the death card, we've got the Hierophant card. Let's tap into another one, and then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so those are the energies we're going to tap into in this reading, excuse me. Okay, so that's interesting, you know, that we're having the channeled messages from heaven. Okay, from this card, what I'm seeing is a warrior. So someone who has a warrior energy, very strong. They might have been reckless. They might have been rode motorcycles, been in a biker's gang, in a biker group. They might have taken a lot of risks, done things that were pretty reckless. You know, they had a wonderful, great heart about it. About the choices that they made, although they might have been a little bit rough around the edges. Okay, so they might have continuously gone into kind of dangerous situations. You know, it was kind of well-intentioned, but they also, you know, they knew why they were going into it, and they knew that it might be potentially dangerous. But they still had like a really good heart. Okay, I hope that makes sense to whoever this message resonates with. As I see these children here, what I'm getting is, you know, they've left behind some children. It looks at what I'm noticing here with this death card is there's also someone like underneath the horse. To me, the energy I'm getting is a female, so it could be, you know, it could have been two people who had passed away at the same time. I'm getting major masculine energy. First of all, I'm getting major masculine energy in this reading. I don't really see any females, so this will be male, more than likely males that we're going to be tapping into. While they were here on earth, they were men. What I'm seeing here with this card is it potentially could have been two people who had passed away at the time of their death. They left their children. But they were still like virtuous, right? They did like kind of, you know, dangerous things, but they were still like, they still loved their family really hard, and they still cared about them, and they still wanted to provide for them. Okay, that is the energy I'm getting with the death card. Okay, now let's tap into Hierophant. I'm definitely getting major father figure vibes in here. You know, he could have been someone that held like an elder in a congregation or an elder in a church. He could have held like a bishop position in the church. What I'm seeing here too with the two, I've always taken these as kind of like two men. So he might have been an educator, a teacher, definitely a father figure, definitely someone that's older is the vibes that I'm getting from this, the Hierophant card. You know, what I'm getting is this is someone who loved deeply, who was probably very involved in organizations such as charities, such as like churches, held a high position, he was held in high regard. What I'm getting really strongly from this card is he probably didn't convey his emotions enough. He probably didn't speak about it or talk about his emotions very much. What I'm really getting strongly from these two cards actually is there's messages that's coming through to these men's children. So if this is your father figure, I'm getting the vibe that this is a younger father. So like this, for younger than this guy. So this one I would say is kind of an older gentleman. Might have been like in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. This one I'm getting more like 30s, 40s, 50s age range on this one. Okay, this one's older, might have left 2 sons behind, might have left twins behind. 3 might have been his favorite number. This is kind of, I feel like a lot of people respected him and revered him and came to him with a lot of their secrets. And he never spilled secrets, but he also never fully opened up and talked about his emotions. So if you are, you know, one of his children or child who is listening to this reading, know that this is a confirmation that they didn't talk about their emotions or tell you how much they loved you. That is definitely messages that is going to come through in this reading though. Okay, now and then let's go to this one, 9 of Wands. What I'm getting strongly is this is definitely man, younger, might have been troubled, might have had some addictions, might have been, you know, addicted to drugs, might have been you know, could have possibly like robbed people, might have not been like the most upstanding citizen. But really what I'm feeling is that that's just because you know, this person was hurt so much when this person was a child, and they have a lot of childhood trauma, and so they built kind of these walls around them to protect themselves. But within protecting themselves behind their walls, they kind of just created a lot of they did a lot of toxic things that wasn't really good for them, which led them to their early demise. So this group, I'm gonna say this is like 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm feeling more 30s though here. All of 30s and maybe very early 40s age range. Okay, so if any of these people resonate with you, these are the energies and the spirits that is coming through. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the channel messages on what they'd like to tell you. What messages do you guys have? What messages do you have, or would you like them? Whoever's watching to know. I should have listened to you. So there's so many layers of what I'm getting from this one. You know, and really it's actually it's coming from all groups, but I feel it strongly from these two. You know, these two groups of people were probably warned a lot by their families of the recklessness and the reckless choices that they made in their life. And now as they've passed on, you know, they're able to see the choices they made in their lives. They're realizing that, you know, all the warnings, right? The love that you guys shown, but might have came across as, you know, nagging or being upset with them, did come out of a place of love. They now realize that. Now for the Hierophant group, what I'm getting from that is like, what I'm hearing is, you know, you told your dad often that like you needed validation from him, that you needed to have him open up more, and he regrets that he didn't do that, and that's what he wished he would have listened to you about. Okay, thank you so much. Ooh, these readings are always a little bit heavier. I'm sorry I hurt you. I mean, this goes for all groups. I'm getting really strongly from this group though here, the Death card group, because they knew that they did reckless things, and like they knew that they should have probably stopped actually. And you probably asked them to stop a lot, to change their life, to not be involved in those in those things, and they're really sorry that they didn't listen to you, and that ultimately their choices led to their demise, and it left you in this very sad broken, abandoned state, and they're really sorry about that, you guys. I'm gonna actually just spread these cards out. Well, no, we're gonna do it this way. Wow. So I'm getting a lot of like regret. I wish I listened to you. Okay, so that's coming up twice here. So what I'm feeling is just a lot of regret. If you need any validation that, like, if you're like, man, I wish you would have listened to me, then this wouldn't have happened. This is validation to you from them, that they should have listened to you. I'm getting it strongly from this group, because what I'm feeling from this group is that this was a tragic accident that was very unforeseen, that took everybody by surprise. But at the same time, it kind of didn't. Like, it took everybody by surprise because it happened at a time when he wasn't doing like something bad. Like maybe they're just like traveling, or they're just, you know, going on a bike ride, or riding horses, and then they just had this unforeseen circumstances. So like, out of all of the dangerous things he did, like this might have been like the least dangerous thing he did, possibly. And then, you know, he passed, and that's so sad. But this whole, I wish I would have listened to you, that's validating you, that, yeah, you know, you warned them for so long to change their life, and they just didn't do it, and then it ended up in their demise, and they are very, very sad, and they're very sorry, and they really want you to forgive them. This message goes a little bit with this group, because, you know, when they say they wish they would have listened to you, they just wish they would have opened up more to you. Because what I'm getting from that card too is that, like, you would ask them this, you know, you would ask him to like share with you their feelings. You would ask them to like come to you, and he wouldn't. And so ultimately, after he passed, like however he passed, I'm getting this is more along the lines of, say, a suicide, or maybe a drug overdose. You know, this is validation to you that they wish they would have listened to you, because they wish they would have changed their life, and that it wouldn't have led to their untimely death. Okay. By the way, just so you know, these readings are pretty intense for me, because I am tapping into direct spirit, and they do want to really come out and talk to you guys, because ultimately they want you to know that, like, they're okay now, and they're okay, but they feel bad for the pain that they caused you, and so that's why they bring these messages through to you, and it's pretty intense to tap into these messages. So I'm not going to be able to do this reading very much longer. Just like, I mean, in this particular reading, not like I'm never going to do readings like this ever again. I just mean that I can't do these readings long, because it requires a lot of energy from me. Okay, I hear your prayers. This one definitely goes with the Hierophant group. Basically, you know, what I'm hearing from this Hierophant group is that, one, that like you pray a lot, and like I feel like you pray and you say, Dad, I hope you're hearing this prayer. And this is validation that yes. That being said, I hear your prayers. They all can hear your prayers, okay? Just FYI. So if you want to pray to them, your spirits, your loved ones that have passed on, do so. Anyways, this is, I hear your prayers, is validation to you. If you pray to your dad, if you're asking why, if you're seeking answers, this is a validation to you that yes, he hears your prayers, okay? Please don't blame yourself, okay? So I'm actually getting this strongly for the Hierophant group, but this does apply to all, because what I am sensing, especially from these two groups, is that, you know, there is a level of regret that you have, because you know, you wish you would have, you think you could have done something that would have affected their death from not happening, and they're kind of just like letting you know that, you know, they were always going to make the decisions they were going to make, and they don't want you to blame yourself, and they don't want you to stay stuck. Like, they love you. They want you to be able to like let go and move forward in your life, and they ultimately want you to be happy, and they're really sorry, but they don't want you to stay in a space where you regret or where you blame yourself. They want you to like let that go and release it and move forward, and just honor them and celebrate their life and celebrate their spirit instead of celebrating the thing that took their life away, or only remembering what killed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want you to remember them as you remember them, like in the sense of like the love that you had for them. That's really what they want. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna only take a couple more messages. Please forgive me, I was wrong. Wow, there's so much regret coming up in this reading. I feel it for all the groups. You know what's really interesting? I really feel it for the Hierophant group, because all you ever asked for was for their like love. All you ever asked your father figure, we'll say father figure, because this person might have not been your dad, but they were like a father figure type. But all you ever did was ask for like their validation and for their you know, for them to be proud of you, and like they never showed it, but they kind of have this mentality of like, you should know I'm proud of you without me saying it. And like, you knew that they thought that way, but you're like, you know what, it'd still be nice to hear it. Like, it would be so nice to be validated that way and to be shown and told that you're loved in that way. And so, like, what I'm really getting, please forgive me, I was wrong, was like, I wish I would have loved on you more. I wish I would have been verbal about how much I love you. Okay, we're gonna take like 2 more messages. And then, I know I already said I'd only take one, but we're gonna take like 2 more. Thank you. Oh, I forgive you. Look, whatever happened I'm getting it strongly from this group, the 9 of Wands group, but whatever happened prior to their death, where you guys might have gotten into an altercation because you love them so much and you're like, you need help, you need to do this. But granted, they were being still really toxic and they weren't changing their lives for the better, and so it might have created this altercation, and you are now blaming yourself. Please don't blame yourself. This is like, I forgive you. Like, if you're worrying that, if you are living in guilt because you are beating yourself up thinking that your altercation caused their death, like, they want you to know that they forgive you. And they want you to be happy, and they want you to just carry their memory of the good times. You know what I mean? Like, they know that they did a lot of shitty things to people, and they don't want themselves to be remembered that way. So like, they forgive you, and they want you to honor them in the best way you know how. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you honor them, you speak about all the great things that they did. You know, yeah, they did some shitty stuff, but whatever, we're gonna just reflect on the great things that they did, because they're not even here anymore. All right, so I'm gonna get 1 more message, and then we're gonna call this good. Oh, this is such a great way to end this. I will always love you. I get this strongly from this one. This is a dad to his children who is mourning his death. This one I'm feeling strongly is to his siblings, sister. The message that he's saying to his sister, and also familial ties, so like mom, brothers, siblings, cousins, things like that. I am feeling strong familial ties. And this one's just your dad. You know, whoever this father figure is, they realize that they could have done a much better job in showing you how much they loved you, but and they regret that aspect, but they want you to know that they will always love you eternally, for infinity, forever and ever and always. Alrighty. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have You Are Beautiful. Alrighty, you guys, I really hope this reading resonated with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to sign out until we meet again. Oh, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at ᖪOOK. I would really appreciate it. And if you resonated with this video, please like it and share it and subscribe. Bye, you guys.